Welcome to the Official Personality Guru. The ENTP personality type is one of 16 types. ENTPs are versatile, open-minded, and restless. Easily bored, they are constantly toying with new ideas and scanning for possibilities. Because of their insatiable thirst for novelty, their interests can seem limitless. As is true of the ENFP, ENTP's minds move at a frenetic pace, contributing to restlessness, anxiousness, and erratic sleeping patterns. Not only are they constantly scanning for new possibilities, but also generating new ideas and associations. Moreover, ENTPs enjoy sharing and exchanging their ideas with others, considering how their minds are drawn in so many different directions. It is no wonder that ENTPs can seem restless, scattered, distractible, and rightly or not, are commonly diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. Unlike ENTJs or other types with a dominant judging function, ENTPs do not carefully screen and filter incoming information. They are truly among the most open-minded of all types when it comes to absorbing ideas from without. However, just because they are permeable to new information does not mean they are quick to accept it as true. As ENTPs ingest ideas over time, they gradually develop, even if somewhat passively, their own theories about the world and human nature. When these theories don't square with conventional thinking, which is often the case, they grow increasingly skeptical and critical of majority viewpoints. So despite their status as extroverts, ENTPs can resemble INT types with regards to their skepticism and unconventional thinking. When engrossed in their dominant function, extroverted intuition or NE, ENTPs are not highly intentional or agenda-driven. Their only agenda might be one of avoiding boredom. Hence, they may not be as consciously driven or obsessed with hammering down the truth as the INTP is. Nonetheless, many ENTPs, especially those who have developed their auxiliary function, introverted thinking or TI, come to recognize their penchant for philosophizing. Like INTPs, they enjoy exploring unifying patterns and broad metaphysical speculations. Despite these propensities, they seem less apt to develop an exclusive focus on intellectual pursuits. As extroverts, they can be reluctant to focus on any singular pursuit, preferring to distribute their energies across different hobbies and interests. Today, let's talk about ENTP auxiliary function, understanding the ENTP secondary introverted thinking or TI. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the Official Personality Guru and ring the bell icon to get regular updates on our latest uploads. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. When searching for a deeper understanding of personality types, it is important to understand each one of their functions. While we often focus on the dominant and even inferior functions, knowing the auxiliary and tertiary ones are also vital. It is not just about knowing what functions each type possesses, but rather how these functions behave within the stack. When a function is dominant, it will present differently than when it is auxiliary, and so understanding this is truly important if you want to understand each personality type. Knowing each function on its own doesn't really give you a true comprehension of how the personality type is going to utilize that function. Instead, you need to learn more about the placement of each function and how it corresponds with each personality type. ENTPs are often outgoing and charismatic people, and so their dominant function can be the one people recognize the most about them. They are curious about the world around them and want to find ways of piecing things together. What people don't realize is that the ENTP's dominant function is closely tied to the use of their auxiliary introverted thinking. ENTPs care about understanding how things work and want to be able to explore different possibilities and ideas from the world around them. Since they are curious and outgoing people, this part of them isn't always recognized immediately by others, but it is certainly a strong part of their personality. The combination of these two functions is important when it comes to understanding the ENTP and how the mind works. This is why just knowing the functions of each personality type isn't quite enough. And so knowing the placement within their function stack is entirely necessary. Each function will behave differently depending on where it is, and for the ENTP, knowing how their AUX function works helps to understand them a bit better. How TI works. Introverted thinking or TI is used as an internal framework that helps the user navigate the world around them. These complex systems inside of their minds are how the TI users see and understand the world. It helps them to make decisions. and come to logical conclusions about what they see and experience. They're constantly modifying this when new information is uncovered, willing to absorb new facts and details and adjust how they view things because of it. They're constantly weighing new information against their already existing model, wanting to be sure that everything works and makes logical sense. If the information doesn't fit into this internal system, the TI user will consider how they are processing things in order to uncover where the inaccuracies are. This helps them to become amazing problem solvers, always prepared to look at the details and uncover ways of ensuring that they can fix whatever is going wrong. They're not afraid of approaching a new situation, where others might need to look at things that have been done before in order to find solutions. Instead, the TI user doesn't need proven methods, since they operate based on this internal thinking system rather than something external. Since their knowledge is not based on what others have accomplished in order to figure out answers, the TI user can problem solve using their own inner minds and understand the information in front of them. This TI is amazing at uncovering problems and finding solutions that will be more efficient and work in a long-term manner. They're always searching for ways to improve processes, wanting to uncover the most precise and inaccurate means of solving the problems they find. This TI is constantly searching for better means of understanding the world and how things work, as well as finding the best ways to navigate the world with strategies and solutions. Auxiliary TI and ENTPs. For the ENTP, having a TI second in their function stack makes them analyze and seek to understand the information their NE gathers for them. This can certainly cause the ENTP to seem a bit indecisive at times, especially when they are forming an opinion about something. This is because they want to explore the different possibilities before making a final decision about what is right. ENTPs like to be free to let their minds envision the different scenarios and will dive into exploring where these paths might lead. It doesn't mean they truly believe that this is the answer. They just want to be able to consider it in order to gain more information about the subject. For the ENTP, their TI helps to assist their NE and is capable of pulling them back when they seem to explore too far. This TI narrows things down, helping the ENTP decide which possible outcome is the most logical. Their NE might come up with many different theories and make the ENTP highly imaginative, but their TI is what keeps them from spinning off in the wrong direction. It analyzes these theories and ideas and comes up with the most logical and likely conclusion for them. Instead of allowing the ENTP to take some crazy idea and run with it, their TE is what helps them maintain balance and bring them back to what is the most practical and logical answer. Since their TE is their second function, it helps the ENTP be much more focused on interacting and connecting with the outside world. They're capable of acting on their choices and don't want to become too trapped inside their analysis for long periods of time. They do their best to make connections and enjoy experiencing things firsthand. ENTPs also love to debate with people and can consider different angles and possible scenarios. Their TI helps them to point out inconsistencies in the other person's argument and makes them great at picking out the logical details in order to prove someone wrong. Combined with their NE, this helps the ENTP learn from these debates, collecting information and uncovering useful patterns when they bounce these ideas back and forth with someone. ENTPs are also known to be die-hard devils, advocates, and enjoy exploring all sides of an argument to enhance their understanding of the subject in addition to purely enjoying the debate itself. This love for debate and understanding different perspectives means that ENTPs are relatively reserved with their opinions and judgment until they are certain of their accuracy. They're highly inquisitive individuals that would rather search for answers and start thought-provoking conversations than spew impulsive opinions. A downside of an ENTP's love for debating and accuracy is that they sometimes come off as unbearably argumentative and a tad insensitive. Because they enjoy exploring different viewpoints, it can feel like they're always against you in a conversation. In reality, they are typically just enjoying the conversation and want to expand their understanding through endless questions. Another shortcoming of their curious and pondering nature is that many ENTPs would rather explore a topic than take resolved action. If they are in a position of power, they will often spend their time pondering what can be accomplished and allowing others to bring their ideas to reality. However, if they are in a subordinate position, Many ENTPs will question authority, either due to their debating nature or because these individuals don't typically enjoy rules and guidelines. Despite this, an ENTP's highly creative, quick, and pondering mind, paired with their preference for social settings, typically makes them a significant asset to any workplace or constructive environment. Each ENTP function explained. As we mentioned, each personality is composed of its own defining traits, which then correspond to 4 cognitive functions. In the case of the ENTP personality, these include NE, extroverted thinking, TI, introverted thinking, FE, extroverted feeling, SI, introverted sensing. When it comes to labeling a personality, the first 2 dominant cognitive functions are typically used for the personality's function label, meaning ENTPs are often paired with the NE-TI. However, each cognitive function has a vital role to play and demonstrate different elements of an ENTP's thinking and behavior. NE, extroverted intuition. The dominant or core cognitive function of an ENTP is their NE function, which stands for extroverted intuition. ENTPs are exceptional at finding patterns or future possibilities that others might overlook. From these ponderings or observations, they can make valid connections and often enjoy this process of exploring all options and possibilities of an outcome. Because ENTPs are extremely extroverted, this process of intuitive thinking is often conducted aloud to another individual through speech or expressed in a physical manner such as writing or creation. Ultimately, an NE-driven ENTP rarely ponders their thoughts to themselves in silence. They crave input from others as they discuss a topic. Another element of this function is that ENTPs are extremely creative individuals who can gather information quickly to create new ideas. This pairs well with their open-mindedness, allowing them to explore all possibilities without being held back by judgment. A problematic part of the NE function in ENTPs is that it is often the reason behind their distractible or quirky nature. Although ENTPs are exceptional at making connections even between complex relationships, they're easily led astray by all of their ponderings and struggle to come to clear conclusions or concrete decisions. They also tend to jump from one idea to the next without completely exploring it to a definitive end. Because of this, some might say the ENTPs have their heads in the clouds and are slightly out of tune with reality. TI, introverted thinking. The secondary cognitive function, also known as the auxiliary function of an ENTP, is their TI function, which stands for introverted thinking. ENTPs can attribute their relentlessness pursuit of knowledge and various perspectives to these particular function. TI drives an ENTP's thinking process that tends to be highly realistic and derived from systems created through inner logic rather than external protocols. As a result, despite their tendency to jump around with their ideas, ENTPs are almost always logical with their thoughts and opinions rather than strictly fanciful. The TI function allows an ENTP to explore a multifaceted ideas or perspectives thoroughly and analytically to increase their overall understanding. They're very much interested in understanding why something works just as much as how it works. However, despite these individuals being realistic and favoring logic over emotion, they tend to base their thought processes and conclusions more on ideas rather than concrete facts. As opposed to an FI or introverted feeling, a TI will base their decisions on logical thought and physical information versus emotions. However, this does not mean that facts strictly drive them. On the contrary, a TI prefers to base their decisions on inner thoughts and conclusions made through an explorative or even philosophical thought process of analysis. Once they have the necessary information, a TI will also differ from a TE or extroverted thinking, in the sense that they tend to keep their judgment or opinions to themselves rather than expressing them outwardly to others. In addition to all these, the TI function allows an ENTP to have a clear inner structure and control in their lives that lends well to being highly motivated, independent, and self-disciplined individuals. How about you as an ENTP or any other personality type? What are your auxiliary function? Be sure to watch until the end and share your experience for a chance to have your comment pinned. FE or extroverted feeling. The tertiary function for an ENTP is the FE function, which stands for extroverted feeling. This function is typically less developed than the previous 2 for the ENTP personality, but still plays a significant role. Particularly in their affinity for humanitarianism and empathy, ENTPs can be frustrating individuals, particularly in the heat of a debate. However, Their FE function makes them much more likable individuals. It is because of this function that many ENTPs are eloquent and expressive conversationalists. Additionally, they can be extremely persuasive and even charming, a skill that comes in handy when they want someone to see their point of view or side with them in conversation. However, when this function is exceptionally undeveloped in an ENTP, the individual might come off as standoffish, insensitive, or even intellectually pretentious. This is mostly because since the FE function is not dominant in an ENTP, it is much more difficult for these individuals to notice emotional changes or signs that other, more attuned personalities pick up on quickly. On a more positive note, the FE function helps an ENTP to pursue their intellectual interests for humanitarian purposes rather than personal pursuits. These individuals also strive to maintain harmony in an external environment and are willing to offer counsel and advice to others in need. Before we continue, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the Official Personality Guru for more amazing videos. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to stay updated with our content. SI Introverted Sensing. The final function for an ENTP is the SI function, which stands for Introverted Sensing. This is their weakest function, operating almost exclusively on a subconscious level. This function can allow individuals to create and maintain a clear mental system where they can store and recall information easily. Many personalities that have this function will test situations against their systems comprised of facts or experiences before a decision is made. When the function is strong, the system works quickly and flawlessly, allowing quick decisions with a certainty of success or failure.